there's argument for both sides if you're being realistic. If you're being realistic about it, there's argument for both sides. We talk about not knowing how close we really are to an NFC title game, a Super Bowl, etc. if you get embarrassed in the first round. Now we don't know. Right? So are we a quarterback away? I don't know. You're usually, if you have a franchise quarterback, you're usually in the postseason yearly. Usually. So this is like the hardest poll question of all time. Because is he good enough? No. He's not. He's not. Yep, Young Dust, here we are.
Hi, Young Dust.
He's not good enough. He's not good enough. Okay? And people don't like to hear that. And I get it. I wanted him to be good enough. But that's game one of your first, it's your first postseason game, people are going to tell me. And I get it. But a team just begged you to beat them with their arm, and we couldn't. And you couldn't. You don't go through your progressions. You don't go through your reads. You don't trust your instincts on throws to be on time and throw guys open. Take the bias, take the agenda out of it, and understand that, yeah, this roster's not great. Nobody's crowning the roster. But he's a big reason on why we lost a football game yesterday. It's what he can't do. It's what he can. It's what he's not able to do. Is what makes everything else look bad. It makes Nick Sirianni look bad. It makes everything around that look bad too. Because you can't run the offense you want to run. Right? You can't do it. Right? You're never going to be able to run the offense you want to run with a guy who won't go through his reads. A guy who won't throw the ball to a wide receiver that you drafted, in the top 10. Like when guys are open. Quez Watkins open. Right? He refuses to throw guys open. The laundry list of just locking in on one guy and everything that happens after that. Right? It's what we watched all year for the most part. And then we changed our game plan. We ran the football. Right? We changed everything we did on what we wanted to do, right? From the first 7 games. When Nick Sirianni wanted to throw the football around, he wanted to do those things. Wanted to use his offense he brought here. And wasn't able to adjust on the fly. Credit to him. And credit to the football team, too. And then they went and started winning some football games. Against who, though? And we talked about that. And we said, hey, you play who's on your schedule. Now show you belong, though. So you can quiet that noise. Well, they didn't show they belonged. Now, granted, you're against Super Bowl champions. You're against Tom Brady. I get it. But you got to at least keep your football team in a game. And I know you're down 14-0 in a blink of an eye. I get it. Right? But your inabilities cost this offense when you talk about you had 2 yards passing halfway through the second quarter. Like, if anybody ever think that's going to be a recipe for success, you're kidding yourself. And, they shouldn't run the RPOs? That's what they ran to get here. They don't want to run the RPOs. Well, now, with all that being said, should he be? I can make an argument that I agree he should be, because what are you using it for? You're using it for Matt Corral. You're using it for Kenny Pickett, right? Like guys that we don't know, we might like. I like Matt Corral, right? I do. I like Kenny a little bit, but enough to say like this guy's going to come in and he's the guy, or did I just waste another one, right? So I'm going to agree for this reason and get and like all the bullshit thinking about it, because that's what took me all this time is I'm still thinking about. I'm talking it out in my head as I'm getting to the punchline. Is that I'll agree because hey, if you give him his junior year, if he doesn't show any more progress, which I don't expect him to show, but if he does, then great. Right? And if he gets better, then he's your guy. But if he doesn't, now you're going to be trading a first round pick this year anyway, if we like it or not. So you try to compile 2 for next year, and now you can build a football team with a lot of cap, right? A lot of salary cap opened up, and the fact that you have 2 first round picks this year still, right? Okay, so you can still build a football team pretty well with just those things in hand. And now you have 2 first round picks the following year that if he's not your guy, which I don't think he's going to be, there's way more quarterback talent coming out in that draft projected than right now. And I'm never the guy to say, oh, look at all the quarterback coming out, 2 years from now. No, but we watched the two of them this year play at an extremely high level, both stand there for Heisman Trophy celebration. And C.J. Stroud and the winner, Bryce Young. So I'm safe to say that, like, hey, I don't mind waiting a minute and seeing what that class offers. And guess what? If that class doesn't pan out and a franchise guy isn't there, now you have 2 first-round picks and a roster that's built out better to be able to go entice either a veteran free agent quarterback to come here that's still good. You know what I mean? Somebody up on their deal. I don't know who that would be. Or you can trade and somebody would waive their no trade to come here because you're built to win. So I think who's the guy you're getting this year that's going to put you over the top? Russell Wilson at 34 years old, coming into a 34-year-old season? I don't know. Like, that you're ready to win? That we're talking about Broad Street? Because that deal, you got to be ready to go. You know what I mean? You can't be in lukewarm area. I got to have a roster around and ready to win. Like, okay, we're going to talk about quarterbacks later, so I don't want to keep talking about quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to agree because I think either that draft, because I have 2 firsts because of the way I set up this year's, or the fact that, hey, I'll then go out and get a guy if I'm ready to win. If he doesn't, let's say, turn the corner for us, right? Which, again, I want to make it clear, even though I'm agreeing, I still don't think he's good enough, and I still don't think that this junior year is going to be this big jump for him. But, hey, you went to the playoffs. We'll add more things around you, and we'll see if you get better at the things you need to get better at. Leave you here, right, and go ahead. If he does listen, I'm not saying you run around a lot, you get hurt, but he's a small guy, and he's already been hurt twice this year, essentially, right? Like, we think that's going to get better as he gets older? No, so that's never a good sign either. That you're banged up, feet issues, whatever. So, listen, I know what Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman want, though. And that being said, I can't. I'm just speaking off of maybe what I would do for a year if them right deals aren't on the table. But any deal that has to be made has to be the right one.
My head's in a friggin' pretzel, Tom.
Mine still too. I mean, even though, like, I agree to it, I like I said, I would much rather disagree, and I think the organization disagrees that he's starting here next year. But I could see them thinking just the thought process I just gave too. Mm-hmm. That's the other side of it. What's out there? What comes across my desk that's good enough, right? Like, I'm not giving you 3 picks for Russell Wilson. Go pound fucking sand. I love Russ. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're not that close. We got beat. We got our fucking doors blown off yesterday against the Super Bowl champions. We're further away than we all want to sit here and think. We're going to be in better shape after next year. But if anybody's talking about running down Broad next year, I'd be careful.
What's up, my family? Tom Arnone, A2D Radio, here to talk to you about Manscaped. Love their products, especially the Lawnmower 4.0. Just got mine in. You try to go and use a regular razor, it's bloody. Ain't nobody got time for that. You're all nicked up. Not a good time. Lawnmower 4.0, I'm walking around feeling delicious. Look, take a look. Just got you. Gotcha. But Manscaped, you'll be taken care of head to toe, guaranteed. Get 20% off and free shipping with code A2D at manscaped.com. Go check them out.